let's use this Anatomy of a Witch. So if anybody wants one of my page, you can get it on my website. Link is in the bio. It's $30 for about an hour. So it's very, very long, very in-depth. With that, you can ask a question. You can pick a topic. What is this? Touch. Touch. We're going to have to get more, but I don't know if they're talking about Reiki. Okay, so we've got a hand with an eye in it. Kind of reminds me of the Hamza. And then it's a plant. It's a plant coming up from the ground. There's roots. There's stars all around the hand, almost like magical or universe. But the word here says touch. So I'm going to have to get a little more to find out what they're talking about. What is this touch? What is this touch? Anything else from this deck that can tell me where you're going with this? Roots are good. You know, you plant a seed, so something that maybe you started on. But with that eye in the hand, I'm thinking third eye. And then we got those stars, so universe, magic, hand going up towards the heavens, the plant. Maybe you've planted the seed. Well, we'll see what comes out, but maybe you've planted the seed. Toward your spirituality, toward opening up your third eye, and maybe getting Reiki or massage or something could help you with touch. I don't know. We have shapeshift and maintain. So it's like maybe you've planted the seed to something, maybe shapeshift, maybe a transformation, so maybe a spiritual journey, maybe you're on a spiritual journey, because shapeshift is when you change from one thing to another, from a caterpillar to a butterfly or something, right? So shape-shifting. So maybe you planted the seed and you've grown some roots even. You got like a plant metaphorically here when it comes to your intuition, reaching up to the cosmos for maybe wisdom, could be your destiny with the stars here, but they want you to just maintain the nurturing of the plant, I guess, so far. Let's see. There's like cleaning supplies and paint and stuff. So like keep, you know, maintenance when it comes to this process. Like, don't stop taking care of the plant. Let me get some more. I'm gonna use this deck here. This is something I've created from little memes off the internet or whatever. The ancestors said, you must understand that happy people do not waste time harming others. That's weird that I just said that. I'm thinking with this, it's more spiritual, and I guess touch. Hold on a minute. What is this? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so I had to do that verification thing, and there was like a coconut bursting open with the coconut milk coming out, so I feel like it's nourishing something here, and then and that didn't work, so I had to do it again. So something about putting puzzle pieces into place and just keep trying till something fits. And then there was just this canyon. It was really dry, so maybe needing to water this plant. I think this is more metaphorical about like a spiritual journey. If you're on a spiritual journey, there is a black cat here, which means shadow work. There's an owl, which means getting wisdom from the divine. There's a frog. I don't even know what that means. A spider. There is a mermaid goat. And there is, so maybe becoming the goat in something, the greatest of all time in something. And there's a rabbit for fertility. So in order to become fertile, needing to do shadow work as you shape shift into maybe what you're meant to be. Get wisdom from the divine. The only thing I can think of with a frog is like if this were love, like kissing the frog and it becomes a prince. But I mean, that does transform. That does transform. So I just got done saying though, not to hurt people with magic. So I'm not judging. She is Native American. She's just very peaceful. maybe if somebody hurts you, don't hurt back. I've had that a lot in my existence. I'm really drawn to Native American, especially lately. I have reasons why I could be, because I have a little bit in my blood, and my twin flame is full-blooded Native American. Maybe I had a past life, but lately I've really been drawn to it. But I'm also getting, like, I've heard the stories, and it's kind of come up in politics lately, how they were hurt so bad, and then now people are trying to push them down and hurt them again. But I'm getting, like, don't try to hurt back people, even if that's okay. So sometimes you can give people the evil eye and not even try. Whether you're jealous or angry at them, you can, like, curse them without trying, because everybody does magic. Words are spells, that's why they call it spelling. So it says, the ancestors said, you must understand that happy people do not waste time harming others. And I had just said this before we started this reading. So whether it's cursing people or not, I guess they're just saying, if somebody on this journey, so you're on a spiritual journey, you're in transformation to becoming something maybe great. It could have to do with love, I don't know, but fertility, you planted some seeds, or you will, and then you just need to grow and maintain and keep that opportunity, if it's an opportunity, or your mind or your life clean, and nurture it. Just take care of it, maintain it, take care of whatever seed this is. Metaphorically, there is the eye here, so trusting your intuition, or this could be in regard to opening up your third eye. And then whatever this is, if somebody hurts you, don't strike back. Try to stay in a peaceful vibration. What else do we have? It is better to be unique than to be the best. Being the best makes you number one, but being unique makes you the one and only. So there's something here about, like, when it comes to competition, you will be the greatest of all time, the goat, by being unique, a mermaid, because this goat is a mermaid. So you will find your greatness by being authentic. And so again, if you do have competition, don't try to hurt back. It says, I'm practicing non-attachment, accepting what comes and allowing it to leave when it's time. What's for me will be for me effortlessly. So they don't want you to chase this opportunity. I don't chase, I attract. Try not to attach to, if you're going through a spiritual transition right now, I don't know if you know what a spiritual awakening journey is. A lot of us are, especially people that come my way. A lot of these readings are about that, and being led and guided to, like, a soul purpose, like your North Node. That could be what they're talking about here with shapeshift. Like, you're going through a transformation. Don't try to, like, it's okay to want what you want, but when you if you learn about law of attraction and you manifest, or you're praying for something, try not to be attached to how it happens, like the outcome. Try to just let God give you blessings without you trying to control how it plays out. Just accept what comes your way and allow things that aren't meant for you in your life to leave without you trying to force them to stay. So something about, you're in a transition, you've planted some seeds, or you will, and there might be roots and you don't even see. All you can see is what's up here. So just, you've got a good strong plant if you've already planted the seeds. Could have something to do with these stars, your destiny, or universe, spirituality, your third eye. But just continue to nurture that seed. Continue to take care of that seed. Keep the opportunity, the situation, your mind, whatever this is, clean. And again, I think this is just a side note, that if you have anybody that comes along who tries to be your competition or do anything you don't like, whether this is magically or not, just keep focused on peace, on finding peace, not reacting to that person, not trying to strike back at that person, because that would lower your vibe. So just ignore them. Let them get their karma. Let God deal with them. You just stay in your lane, focused on your seed. And it does say touch, so there could be, like, getting a massage could help your energy, or Reiki, I guess. Okay, this has to do with an awakening, a spiritual awakening process, which is what I said earlier. I said a butterfly, right? Going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. So you're going through, I don't know if you understand what that means. Do you know what a spiritual awakening is? If not, Google it. Do you see repeating numbers like 111, 222, 333? Do you ever feel led and guided by spirit when maybe in the past you didn't? Like you feel like you see signs? Now, if you're not seeing that, that doesn't mean that it's not for you. It just sometimes you don't see it till it's time. So that's a sign that you, and the fact that you're here, to me, it's possible you could be what's called a twin flame, and 1111 is one of the numbers. It's a mirroring number, twin flames. Do you know what a twin flame is? So most people that find their way here, I think it has something to do with twin flame, meeting a person who activates what's called a spiritual awakening. And when that happens, you might not know it at first. I didn't know for maybe 2 years after I met him. Sometimes people, it happens before they meet their person. Sometimes it happens when they meet their karmic. But usually there's an activation having to do with another person, a romantic person usually. Some people say it doesn't have to be romantic, but I think it kind of does. And they go through what's called a spiritual awakening. Never in my life had I ever even heard of such a thing. And I was in my 40s when this happened. This was like 6 years ago. You will basically start to become psychic, probably. You won't know it at first until you look back on it. You'll feel led and guided. If you have met this person, you might have met a person, or you might in the future, that feels like they're home. Feels like it's you, maybe in another body. It doesn't have to be that way, but when you get to know this person, you might find there's these weird synchronicities. Maybe you did the same thing, you know, maybe you had a similar childhood, or it doesn't have to be this. You might, like their birthday might be like your home address. There might be these weird synchronicities between the two of you. It doesn't have to be that way. You might feel magnetically drawn to this person. It is not an easy process. It's very hard, very, very hard. You meet the person, usually there's this bliss period. So I don't know if you've met this person yet. You could have and just didn't know that this person was significant, or that you would be having this awakening journey. But it's known for being a transition period in your life. What will happen is you'll meet this person, you'll probably go through a bliss period. Some people have it a little differently. It's not always the same. But it's very, very profound journey, profound spiritual journey, profound change. Okay? It's hard. So you meet this person, you go through this bliss period, but then problems arise. Usually there's a separation, and during separation, it's really hard. The person who is the feminine energy, one will be more masculine, one will be more feminine, and it doesn't necessarily mean whether a man or a woman, because sometimes the men are more feminine and vice versa. But whoever's in the feminine energy will have a spiritual awakening first, usually. We'll go through this process first. It will cause you to want to be alone a lot. It'll cause you to do a lot of soul searching. You're going to want to just really, you might even want to embrace things about yourself that you always kind of were afraid to show people. You have to just search your soul, and just, if you've already met this person, Google, after this reading, Google twin flames. Now, some people say you can have a spiritual awakening. I think I've heard maybe 1 or 2 people try to say that it's not necessarily related to twin flames, but in my opinion, in my world, it seems to all be the signs, the spiritual awakening, the twin flames all kind of go together. So you're going through this awakening period. It gets hard because it's a very turbulent time in your life. You might start to feel like things in your life are crumbling, like maybe you might even feel like you're cursed. But that's just part of a spiritual awakening. It's to strip away things that don't serve you anymore, your old self, and lead and guide you to what's called your north node, your soul purpose, your soul person. So if there's a period of time, and it could be many years, where things get really hard during a spiritual awakening journey. So if that's what you're going through, you might have been led here so you can learn about it. Because we have awakening and rest. They want you, when you're going through it, if this period of time where your life is going to go through a transition, you're going to go through a major transition. So I started seeing the number 555, which means, I see a lot of numbers, but that's just one of them. It means big changes that are of your highest good, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. It will be hard. It'll be hard, but it's a transition. It's a major transition, something you've never experienced in your life. I don't know how young or old you are. I was in my 40s and I had never experienced anything like this. I was spiritual, but this is a whole different experience. It will bring you closer to God. I don't care what religion you are, closer to Christ. It's gonna crack you open. It's going to break you open, but it's for your highest good, so that you become the GOAT of your life, the greatest you can be. Maybe the greatest all time at something. I don't know, just really great. Find your greatness. So it's really good long term, but it's a very hard process. Just like the butterfly has to go in its cocoon to make the transition. It's probably very uncomfortable. It'll feel like everything's crumbling, but it's actually to get rid of things that are just not meant for you. They're not what's going to make you happy. They're not authentically for you. And then it's going to lead and guide you to what is. Okay, so we have awakening. You will find yourself waking up to a new awareness and deeper, what they call consciousness. And your consciousness is just your perspective, how you look at things, your brain, how you see things. You're going to see things different in life. And that will transform your life and allow your beautiful light to emerge. It will also allow for more balance, but it's a very, very, very hard journey. You're probably already in the middle of it, especially if the seeds have been planted. You don't see the roots. All you can see is a little bit here. And maybe your third eye will be opening and you'll be connecting and reaching for the divine more, for God more. This is when your third eye opens, you get your connection to God is stronger. You get a direct connection instead of having to go to church or whatever religion you are and have someone else tell you what to think and feel. You get a direct, you start to channel. Great. But I don't know if the happiness is right around the corner. You might have a lot of years of hardness before the happiness. Okay. So in the meantime, when you need to rest, meditate, and it also is saying you are disconnecting yourself from the world and giving yourself the space to rest and grow in your awareness of what's real and what's meaningful to you. And that's okay. That's part of this journey. You will want to just be alone, soul search, meditate. At some point, they might start telling you to balance it out with other things. You actually, I'm seeing here, you might be towards the end of this cycle. Great. So 10 would be the end. This is 45, which breaks down to 9. 9 means you're close to the end, but not there yet. I feel like if you are a twin flame, you're probably meant to be a light worker, at least part-time. But you can't just start that and expect a full-time income. So you do it on the side if it calls to you, if you feel it. And then do your day job during the day. Like you could do both. Light workers are here to help with this process. But that's enough for right now. I don't want to overwhelm you.